you how to resize the image for sharing on social media, which I think is very important, because if you do just share the video, if you just share the photo that you've just finished in the last video, you're sharing the full size image, so all of the detail is still in the photo. You take note also of when saving it as a JPEG as well as a RAW file. So once you've finished that process of adding the copyright, I'll then go in and put a copyright. I put it right over the image. It's then up to you what the opacity needs to be, just on the right hand side of the screen. Just for this, we'll leave it at that. Right, so now you want to size the image for sharing online. So we've gone to image size. It's going to bring up this here. Select pixels. Say this here, it'll depend on what you've been shooting in. Mine's normally 6000 by 4000, but this is a finished image that I've followed the size of. So for sharing online, I always use 1500 pixels. I keep the resolution at 300, but by changing it down to 1500 pixels, the amount of data in the image decreases dramatically. So when you zoom in, it gets really pixelated compared to the full-size RAW file. So if you do try to print this, it'll just look horrendous. So 1500, keep the resolution. I'll keep it at 300 or thereabouts. Some people do say to change it to about 96 or so, but for this exercise we'll just use that. So click OK. Image is going to reduce in size like that. We'll zoom in here. Now you see when you start zooming in there, the details lost a little bit, but overall image looks great for sharing online. So I'll go to save as again. You don't need to save it as a RAW file, Photoshop file, because you're only going to be sharing it online. So I'll save it as a JPEG. So save as a JPEG. I'll just put this in just so it doesn't override it. Now you see here the size of the files went down to 1.2 megabytes. I use optimized, but 1.2 megabytes is not really printable. You can change the image quality if you like, and the file size goes down again. So 803 kilobyte file size will not print good at all. And that's how you do it. So save OK. Just wonder where that files went. That's the file there. See down the side here, the dimensions is 1500, which is suitable for sharing online. All of the information is still stored on the metadata, the copyright, and if you open that file, it looks fine. Majority of the time people don't use a laptop, they use phones, so if you just scale that down, the quality is still there, and you can still show the quality of your work. So that's how I resize images, add a watermark, and still incorporate the copyright for a file which I share online. We'll just go back on here quickly. We'll just go back to the original file. So now, if you're on your original file, after you've added your copyright to the metadata, and you want to print it to canvas or whatever, image again, image size. Now say somebody wants one of your images at 16 inches, right? So say change over here, change it to inches, 16 inches. But 16 by 12 inches. So you click this one here. Okay. Change that back to 16. Just go in here, change that to 12. Keep the resolution at 300 for this because that's how many dots per inch it prints at. If you see here, pixels over inch. So that's how many pixels are printed per inch. Printers don't print more than 300 resolution anyway, or not that I'm aware of, so keep that at 300 for this. We'll click OK and the image size has been resized. Now that doesn't look very good because it's squashed it. So if your son's planning to sell the images, just let him know to advise his client that it will look slightly different, or you can get custom sizes which would obviously be at a higher price than you would be charging normally. So 16 inches would be 10 inches in height. But that's a process anyway for resizing an image to be printed. This one may have only just been squashed like that when we size it to 16 by 12 because I've altered the size prior to this because it's a complete image. So I hope that one's helped. So we've went through copyright, adding to the file, image size for printing and image size for sharing online. I think it's very important that you do add copyright and resize it for online sharing at 1500 pixels. As like I say, it decreases the quality, but still it decreases the quality of the file, but still shows the quality on whatever device people are viewing on. We'll just quickly go into here. Right, so you can see this is the same file, but the original file and the size of it is 184 megabytes. So that's holding a lot of data there, and it will print very good. Whereas the one we've just done to share online is 803 kilobytes, which is very small. So that's a process for that. I really hope it's helped. And I wish Son the best of luck. If you need any more help, don't hesitate to give us a message. I'll do my best to help.